Hello everyone, we're going to be ranking all of my 2025 frogs today. We did this for my 2024 frogs last year and I had a lot of fun. So we're going to do it again. This is just 2025 frogs because there's too many. There are too many to do both years. This is my first video back from maternity leave, so I apologize if I am a little rusty. My brain's a little bit soup. Yeah, enjoy the soup brain. But let's hop into it. I apologize, I am in the process of moving, so background's a little lackluster, but I put a plant here. For your viewing pleasure. Yeah, we'll be in a new space soon. Stay tuned. Let's go over our tiers so far. So we have top of the list, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, totally the best, it's a frog, forgettable, frog failure, and fire for the fire lord. I think those are pretty self-explanatory, right? We will be doing more than just frogs. We'll be doing all my bats and other critters as well. But you know, we gotta stay on theme. First we have our Stroop Waffle. I love this flat lad. I think I'm just gonna put him in. It's a frog. I almost want to put him in forgettable, but I like him a little too much for that. I don't think he's quite forgettable. Whale shark. I'm gonna put him in totally the best. I really like how he turned out, and I think a lot of you guys really liked him too. Not quite supercalifragilistic. I can't say that one. Supercalifragilistic. I'm just gonna say super because I can't pronounce my own category. All right, we're gonna zoom through some of the sharks here. I think the PJs and the imposter shark, I'm gonna put them in. It's a frog. You know, I think they're cute, but they're not like, I don't think they're too standout. But I do like the hammerhead onesie a lot. You can go up there with totally the best for the whale shark. Bat ghost. I love the bat ghost. They're very simple. And so for that reason, I think I will put them in Eats a Frog. Okay, next up. Vampire garlic. I think Eats a Frog. I don't think he's forgettable. I don't think he's one of my best, but I still really like him. We'll get some easy ones out of the way. First of all, Krogenbush, I'm gonna put that in the super category, along with our Disco Squag. Disco Squag is one of my favorites, partially because it's one of the best home decor pieces I have. He's bigger than all the others, and he looks great in my little indoor garden. I will be making a bat. Hopefully right after the move, we'll get that going. Glorb! Oh my god, I love Glorb so much. This year I really played around with like doing different frog species and painting them more realistic, and I've had a lot of fun with that, especially when they're different shapes, like Glorb. I need to make more Glorbs, so if you have a frog species that you'd like to see, no guarantee, but I'd like to paint more Glorbs and more squags as realistic frogs. And more. I'm gonna put the Valentine's box up there, because that one was quite the feat. My patrons are waiting for the STL for that one, but I need to. The top does not fit very well, and I need to readjust it so that it does, and it hurts my brain to think about that. I'm just gonna go through and single out some of my favorites. Mooncake, I absolutely love the Mooncake. He is one of my favorites. I have a countdown, a top frogs short going up soon. It's probably already up. Spoiler, he's one of my favorites for 2025. Blood orange bat, going right up there. I need to do more bats because they tend to be my favorites when I make them. They're just harder to make. It's harder to turn a bat into an item. Let's get some squags out of the way. For my fruit squags, I'm gonna put my strawberry and my orange into the forgettable category because I think they are. I think when they're next to the watermelon, he's gonna go up into totally the best. I think they look cute when they're all together, but when you stand them alone, I think the watermelon's the only one that I really remember. And I'm gonna take that into the charcuterie squags as well. Unfortunately, as much as I love our olive, I think he's kind of forgettable. Very sad, very sad. And same for the blue cheese. I had a lot of fun painting him. He's kind of disgusting. Not as disgusting as some of our other squags. I'm gonna put the Swiss cheese of It's a Frog. He's just so classically shaped. Cartoony block of Swiss cheese. Yeah, can't go wrong. A lot of people are really mad that I made him yellow. They're like, Swiss cheese is white, why is he yellow? That was a little bit of a stylistic choice because I already had the blue cheese, which is mostly white, and so I made it a little more cartoony, American cartoony. So I did that just to make it stand out from the other one more. I know Swiss cheese is not actually butter day yellow, but I think tofu will also unfortunately have to go no forgettable. We're just knocking out squags here. Let's keep going. Ice, unfortunately. Jello, a lot of you love the Jello, I know, but I will be putting him with the other forgettable ones. OG squag, I'm putting in totally the best. I love the squag, original squag. I think you can't go wrong. Again, realistic frog in the shape of a cube or any other weird shape. It just settles something in my soul. I'm gonna put the pyramid as well in the totally the best category. And bog, something about bog does not bring as much joy as a Glorb, squag, and the pyramid. So I'm gonna put him in It's a Frog. Putting the Minecraft one up in the super category. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I do have more in the pipeline. I will not say how many more because I haven't started painting them. So I don't want to make any promises in case I get painting and I'm like, we're not doing any more. But I do have some ready to go. Getting to our holiday squags. The beans go into fire for the Fire Lord. I think part of this is because the colors aren't quite right. I think I wanted them to be more like a UK style beans on toast. They're in this weird in between. I would love to redo them at some point. I do want to try coating them with like a tinted resin, but I was afraid that it would like go over the eyes and make a weird film over the eyes and make it cursed in a different way. Okay, Salami. I'm putting him in totally the best. I had so much fun painting him and I am kind of really happy with how it turned out. He's disgusting, but I love him. Same goes for the baked ham. Baked ham is going up there. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to make the slimy meat textures. I actually really like a lot of the Thanksgiving ones, so I'm gonna put the pumpkin pie and the pumpkin up there as well. See, I would love to make a bunch more holiday themed meal squags. Gelatinous cube I will put into totally the best because that was kind of an experiment. I wasn't sure how it would turn out with like subtracting the bones and painting them. I wasn't sure how it would turn out and I'm really happy with how they turned out. I do want to shout out one of my patrons. They printed them in blue and then painted the skulls with the eyes black and so you can see the skull a lot better. They did a great job. Oh, the snow globe I am putting in the super category because if you watch the long form video, it was not an easy task. I actually, let's grab him. I've wanted to do an updated version of him, do it again, but this time with fewer failures, hopefully. I will say, and people warned me that this would happen because plastic is not like fully watertight and it is like slightly porous. Warp, warp. He hasn't been leaking, it's just been slowly evaporating over time, so. There it is. We're gonna do the boba frogs. The shakeable and the non-shakeable version. I prefer the non-shakeable one because I like the tarot coloring. I know you can't really see the tadpoles, and the other one's more fun in the shakeable version, but I think because I prefer the milk tea, I prefer the tarot one. So I'm gonna put tarot one in the super category, shakeable one, and totally the best. Some of you might come for me. I'm sorry. Also, I'm sorry I say tarot and taro, and I always forget which is correct. Correct me below. Soap bubble, we're just I apologize. We are truly bouncing around here. I gotta keep you on your toes. Soap bubble. I'm putting him in forget. No, he's going in failure. I decided to print him hollow because I was like, ooh, hollow, like a bubble. Ooh, very nice, less resin. Also, if I printed him hollow, he would be lighter and I wouldn't need as many supports, which means less sanding. I completely forgot that I could not coat the inside with UV resin. At least not evenly. It'd have to have a giant hole. It would just, for now, he's going in frog failure. Another hot take here. I'm gonna put my Cosmic Brownie in frog failure because, first of all, he's the wrong shape. He's a salamander, but I didn't make him a salamander. And I completely forgot that somebody had suggested I make it 2 frogs butting up against each other. In my eyes, there's so much more I could have done. Either make him a salamander or make him 2 frogs. Right now, he's a weird in between. He's a frog failure. I'm gonna put the black ones, I'm gonna call them Vanta Black. They're not technically Vanta Black. My Vanta Black frogs are going in frog failure because also forgettable, but also my paint technically wasn't the blackest paint in the world. The bottle says blackest paint in the world, which is why I called it that. But you know, there's all kinds of debate, like technically it's no longer the darkest black, there's more blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna put in failure. Ooh, I have some for the Fire Lord. Let us give our gift to the Fire Lord. He requires feeding. My cursed peppermint frog and grapefruit bat. Those two, sometimes the cursed creations are a lot of fun, and sometimes they are just cursed. Our little no-face frog, I'm gonna put him in It's a Frog because I actually think he turned out really cute, and I think a lot of people actually liked him too. One failure, our little sweet potato salamander. I don't know how I missed his potential when I made him. During the sculpting and painting process, I was completely blind to the potential. It wasn't until well, first of all of you pointed out, they're like major potential right here. And then when my dad was visiting recently, he was looking at my frogs. He doesn't watch all my videos. And so he's looking at the frogs. He picks up the salamander and he says, "What is this, a turd frog?" And I was like, oh no. Oh no. So, frog failure. However, our other sweet potato, he has done no wrong. He is up here, totally the best. He's one of my, not favorites, but it's one of my honorable mentions this year. Alright. Peppermints I'm gonna put in forgettable, because honestly, I sometimes forget about them. Our little puffball mushroom. I love him, but he is very forgettable. Snowman, I'm going to put, the stack, I'm gonna put in totally the best. I think they're adorable. Frog snowman, the solo one. It's a frog, he's fine. No. He's forgettable. I think he's forgettable. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm going to put, unfortunately my pride frog's also there. There are a lot of times where I get so focused on sculpting something that it veers too far away from frog in my opinion, and I'm blind to it until a little bit afterwards. After I've sculpted it, I start painting it, I take photos, and I'm like, I fear we've veered too far from frog. I was so focused on getting the cloud textures and everything correct that we missed frog. Okay, the dice, I'm gonna put in It's a Frog. I think I would love them more if I painted them all to look like realistic frogs, which maybe I'll do one day. There's just so many of them that, and they're for my patrons, I did not have time just to like paint all of them in a crazy gradients. But that would really elevate them to the top category. Jar of Pickles, I'm gonna put in totally the best. I think he would make super category if it was shakeable. Great, but not super. Shakeable Brain. Again, best, not super. I think because it's a much simpler paint job and there's only like one floating frog in there. Oh, our reverse popsicle. I'm gonna put our reverse popsicle in frog failure, but our bird and our regular popsicle, I'll put them in Pizza Frog. I like how the popsicle turned out. When everyone asked for like a reverse where the tongue is the stick, I think I could have done that in a better way. In my brain, it looked better and I couldn't create what I was envisioning in my brain, and I don't think it quite looks right, unfortunately. Salamander? I'm gonna put him in forgettable. Honestly, I think we just had a lot of popsicles, and I think he's the last one that I think about. Bill Cipher, I am gonna put him in totally the best. Not quite super category. A lot of people were like, oh my god, Bill does not have a mouth. I must remind you all, this is not Bill Cipher. This is a frog version. If I didn't give him a mouth, he wouldn't look like a frog. And then it would just be Bill. But this isn't Bill. This is like if a frog and a Bill hybrid came about. My wizards! Okay, the large wizard is one of my favorites. I'm a little sad that he had to go. He got auctioned off and went to a good home. But he is in my super category. I really love him. My other wizards, I think I'm gonna put the portal and it's a frog. I like him. He's fine. I think I'm gonna put the tadpole hat one in totally the best. It was a more complex paint job. And surprise, surprise, I like it more when they have a complex paint job. The potted plants, totally the best. There's something about terracotta that just makes my heart happy, and even though they're not terracotta. I got really excited when I saw the suggestion from my patrons. Cookie Night will go up there too. A suggestion that I didn't fully understand when it was requested. I understand now. I see how cute he is, I understand now. There will be a milk dragon. When? I don't know. It was supposed to be done before I went on maternity leave. And then I got horribly distracted. Nothing new. Mother's Day frog. It's a frog. He's cute. He's pretty, but... Sorry, Mom. Bat Lantern. I'm gonna put It's a Frog. I think it's really fun how he turned out. It's something, I think once you take away the eyes, it's a lot harder to connect with them. It makes them less cute. It makes them less memorable, unfortunately. He is very cool. He is now with my brother. My brother requested frogs for Christmas, and that was the one that he really wanted. The rosy frogs, I love them, but I do think they're gonna go into forgettable. I think it was just so many frog onesies in one video that most of them get forgotten. Pine cone! Totally the best. This was a really intimidating sculpt job, and I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. He doesn't look like a frog, like at all. I'm gonna let it slide. Orange! Love him, but I'm gonna put him in It's a Frog. He's very cute. I love how round he is. I love how grumpy he is. We definitely need a version where like you can see the citrus on the inside. Bat Lantern. Every time I see the Bat Lantern, I forget how much I love him. I'm gonna put him in totally the best. The paint job was really scary because I was doing a pretty intense gradient on like a very tiny space. So it's hard to do. For me, it's hard to do. Trying to get that blend down, but it worked out and he brings me joy every time I see him. Mashed Potato Frog, Jabba the Hutt. I know he looks like Jabba the Hutt. I don't know. His fat, lumpy self just brings me a lot of joy. Macarons. I'm gonna put in... It's controversial because this is a really beloved one. I am so conflicted. No. Okay, we're putting in totally the best. My prune hippos. It's a Frog. I am pleasantly surprised by how much I like them. I thought for sure they were 100% potential and that they would just look like turds, but I think they actually look like dried fruit, and I actually think that they are kind of adorable. The jelly donut and beignet frogs, I love them. I'm putting them in the super category. The amount of joy they bring me every time I see them. Some of my favorite frogs, and I think for you guys as well, a lot of the favorite frogs are the ones where you combine the clear resin with the opaque resin. Something about it, my brain says, ooh, candy, yum, 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 give it. In a similar vein, let's move to the jam jars. I'm gonna put them in totally the best. They're almost super category, but not quite, along with the geode. Both of those were very different for me to make at the time. A little terrifying to make, but I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I would love to make more things like that in the future. Like, it was a lot of fun to try to figure out the consistency and the texture for the jam on the inside, and like figuring out what I have at home that I could make to make it like lumpy. And then the geode, I need to make more geode stuff, because this half geode led into the geode layer on my cake frogs, where I got to deal with them kind of being more like chunks. I guess they're not geodes at the point, but more crystals. And they're just so beautiful. I need to make a crystal frog. Avocado, he's cute, but I'm gonna put him in Eat the Frog. Plague Doctor, I'm gonna put in It's a Frog. I know a lot of people love the Plague Doctor. I like him just fine, but not as much as some people. Some people are obsessed with the Plague Doctor. Zombie, I'm gonna put in It's a Frog. I really like him. Not my favorite, but I still really like how it turned out. The Mimic Squag, I'm gonna put in totally the best. Style-wise, that was very different from a lot of my other frogs, and it was a lot of fun to paint for that reason. It was fun to actually use miniature paints the way they're kind of supposed to be used. Rose Frog. Okay, don't come for me. I'm gonna put the Rose in Frog Failure. I don't think he's bad. I do think that I was so focused on trying to get like the Bulbasaur look, but it now I feel like doesn't really feel like a Rose Frog. It just kind of feels like a Bulbasaur. And I kind of wish it was more true to Rose. Conversation Hearts. Eats a Frog. I love how wide set their eyes are. They have a no thoughts head empty look. Ornament Bat. Eats a Frog. I don't know why it doesn't strike the same joy in my heart as my frog ornament, because in theory it's the same thing, just it's a bat. Maybe it's just I had a lot more complicated paint jobs this year, and I've done a lot more stuff with clear resin, so it's not quite as exciting as it once was. That might be it. Good. Lego Squags. We're totally the best. They're not quite super category for me. I know they would be probably for a lot of other people, just because again, they are simpler. I am very happy with how shiny they look though. They came out like glossy, which I use the same gloss coat I always do. Maybe it's just because of their simple shape, they look extra glossy. Especially the butts. The butts are so glossy. Our holiday cookies. I'm gonna put both in It's a Frog. The sugar cookie does veer close to the totally the best category. Although people told me that he looks like pizza with the red frosting, and now I can't unsee that. Yin Yang Tadpoles. For me, these are forgettable. I don't think they are for you guys though. You'll have to let me know. I forget all the time that I made these. The Year of the Snake Frog. I love this one a lot. Some people have said he looks like he's been eaten. He's wearing a skin suit or something. You're not wrong. Is that a bad thing? I'm gonna put him in totally the best because he's so happy, and he's got like the little bleh with the fangs. Like he's happy he's being eaten. The brains. Eats a Frog. They were a lot of fun, but definitely not my favorites. Dumplings. I'm gonna go with It's a Frog as well. I think they're very effective. They look like dumplings, but again, they are simpler. Waffles, frog waffles, probably the best. I do not love them as much as my pancakes, but there's something very satisfying about seeing the little square wells filled up with syrup. Ooh, delicious. Oh my God. The cookie dough. I had no faith in this idea, and I apologize because they are some of my favorites. I was convinced that these would just look like poop. They wouldn't look like cookie dough, but I actually really love how they turned out. I'm gonna put them in totally the best. I think the half-baked one is probably the least successful. The cookie dough one is probably my favorite, and then the flat-baked cookies is my close second favorite. 3 frogs in a trench coat. I'm putting them in the super category. I had so much fun, again, doing detailed frogs this year, more realistic frogs. I hope we do more in 2026, and which is gonna lead me into the next two. We have our 2 rain boots, the Muddy Puddle and the Giant Boot. Both of those, I think I'm gonna put in the super category. Again, I think it's just because I really like doing the realistic rendering. I am a painter. It's kind of fun to go back into my roots. And last we have our geese. How shall we rank the geese? I think our big geese. Asparagus and artichokes have to go into our super category. And the little guys, I'm gonna put them in the It's a Frog category. I think they were fun, very cute, but definitely they reached their peak form once they evolved into long asparagus and artichokes. Okay, you know, I'm not gonna overthink it. We're gonna call the ranking there. So here's our final ranking. I know a lot of you are going to feel differently. So I do have the tier list maker linked below so that you can make your own tier list. If I forgot any, don't tell me. You can't tell me. Last year's I made it and I was like, oh no, I forgot this one. And then I realized that I missed like 4. I'm sorry, frogs. That means they go in forgettable. But that was our frog ranking. I hope I didn't anger anyone. I apologize if I'm a little rusty. Like I said, it's my first video back from maternity leave and my brain is a little bit soup because my little froglet is not sleeping right now. Stay tuned because I will be having fun updates coming and more frogs coming soon. The STLs for a lot of these are up on my website, linked below if you are interested in printing them. Until then, I appreciate you all bearing with me while I get everything back and running in the new year. Till next time, bye!